What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. All right, so probably one of the biggest surprises of the last week for me, when it comes to television series or movies in general, is the cancellation of Lovecraft Country. This was a really highly, I don't know, it felt popular in a lot of ways. Felt like it was, the way the marketing was portraying it was that, hey, it was going to be, a big hit. I don't think it necessarily hit the mark of where maybe HBO wanted it to be. And I kind of felt like HBO's like in the desert at this point when it comes to things. I feel like after Game of Thrones, they want everything to be Game of Thrones level. And they were marketing Lovecraft Country as maybe, like I said, at that level. But I feel like no matter how good a show is or how good the ratings are now, if it doesn't match up to Game of Thrones level when it comes to HBO, it's gonna be hard for really any show that's really a really expensive show to really be able to stay on air for very long when it comes to HBO. That's one of the biggest worries I have with these next Game of Thrones projects, because I just kind of feel like how long before HBO grows tired of it or thinks it's a bust, even if it's not a bust. But I'll tell you this. When it comes to Lovecraft Country, I wasn't the biggest fan. I thought it didn't have a clear purpose when it come to story wise. Like, it was kind of all over the place. It felt like sometimes it wanted to be a show that just wanted to speak upon race in America, and another time it felt like it just wanted to go through the typical horror genre without, really even the racial aspects at times. I felt personally, I feel like they would have gone maybe down the racial component of it. I thought it would be a really great show. I thought it would have been a really great show without any of the monster part of it. I just felt like when it come to the suspense of the Lovecraftian lore, I felt like that's where it failed to deliver in a lot of ways. I felt like Letitia and Atticus did a really great job. Journey Smollett and Jonathan Majors did great with what they were working with. There was just some episodes in there that just felt like they weren't supposed to fit with the previous episode. And I'll give a good example. I can't tell you what episode it is. I think it was like episode 3 or so. Was when they fought the cult, and then they're coming back home. The uncles died, and then they get to back to Chicago, and Letitia's like, I'm buying a house. They completely and totally forget everything that had to do with what had just taken place. And there was some like moments that was like that, and it kind of confused me. And I'll be honest, that was probably the part that lost me through season 1. Was I just felt like it just wasn't consistent. The theme of it was not consistent in what it wanted to be. Sometimes it wanted, like I said, sometimes it wanted to be about race. Sometimes it wanted to be about the monster thing, but it couldn't mesh the two together very well. And that was really, at the end of the day, its downfall. But, Lovecraft Country Season 2 would have involved zombies, says creator Misha Green. Now, this kind of her bringing out what season 2 would have actually have consisted of reminds me of almost kind of like an American Gods moment, where you have you know, creators of it saying, you know what, this is what would have happened. You know, we're still trying to you know, get this season to happen. So with this cancellation, I wouldn't be that shocked. Um, I would not be that shocked to hear of Lovecraft Country getting a season 2 somewhere else. I really don't. I think it, and the reason why I say that is because I feel like the concept of it, the you know, seems like for the time that we're living in, it seems like a show that would be able to easily make it on our television sets if somebody would have picked it up. It just feels that way in a lot of ways. Plus, it does have a good fan base to go along with it, and you know, look, it's got the whole lore to it. It's got some things that will attract people of, you know, different genres. Plus, it does have some really good actors and actresses. I'm telling you, you know, like Jonathan Majors, he did a really great job as Atticus. But I'll tell you, Journey Smollett was probably the biggest shock to me. I went in there, I didn't really know anything about her. I know a lot about her brother, but I didn't know anything about her. She really was the star of the show, to be honest. She was my favorite part of it, my favorite character all the way through. Like, she really had the makings of a hero character. I would love to see her maybe take over a role, whether it's in Lovecraft Country or whether it's in something else, where that she takes on more of an action hero role, because I feel like she did a really great job in that respect. She is a great actress, a great actress. But yeah, but like I was saying, when it comes to the show's creators telling you what season 2 is going to be like, it does. It reminds me of like American Gods, where that it it doesn't feel dead quite yet. It feels like it's just looking for a new home, basically. And I think that's what's going to end up happening to this. I would not be shocked if in the next year or so you hear of this show getting its own getting renewed. I really believe that. The only thing that I feel like would stop that from happening uh, is something that has nothing to do with Lovecraft Country, but has everything to do with Jonathan Majors. If it's true that Jonathan Majors is going to show up as Kang the Conqueror in the Loki series, which it could be, he could not, and then be a part of season 2 of Loki, which you know is going to happen. Um, it really wouldn't shock me if that would be the reason why this show dies, and it doesn't get renewed to a different place. Because if he becomes cast member, a villain on a popular MCU show, I just don't really see that happening. Of course, then you have Ant-Man 3 that's coming out as well. So I mean, you know, who knows? I don't know. I think that could play more of a role in Lovecraft Country not getting a second chance than it finding a new home. Because I do believe Lovecraft Country would find a new home without any issues when it comes to casting. I really do believe that. But you couldn't do the show without Atticus. You just couldn't. As much as Letitia kind of took the role of really the leader, you still couldn't do the show without Atticus. You just couldn't. So that's my take on that. To be honest with you, I kind of am a little sad that Lovecraft Country did get canceled. Even though, like I said, I wasn't really a big fan of season one. I just felt like if it could just get each episode to fit in with the next one or the previous one, and do it consistently, I thought it could be a really great show if it could find its identity, if it could mesh the racial aspect of it of 1950s, and then the whole monster genre and put it together. I think it would have been a really great show. And so I'm actually kind of shocked that it didn't get a second. That it's not getting renewed on HBO. But I just feel like it's maybe a show that if you give it like a season two, it might could find that ability to mesh those two things together and be something that's really great and could reward for their faith any network that would pick it up. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. I was that way with Manifest too. I felt like Manifest, another show that got canceled. I felt like before its time. I felt like that show, if it was picked up by, like, let's say a Netflix or so on, like what Lucifer was, I felt like it would be that network would be rewarded for that through ratings. But you know what? And attention. And I feel the same way with Lovecraft Country. So here's hoping that they actually do find a season two. I will if there's season two, I will definitely be watching it because I'm just curious. I feel like there's something there. I just I just felt like season one just couldn't put it together correctly. But you know what? The second season, if it is picked up, who knows? This could be a really, really great show. But as always, guys, let me know what y'all think. Do you think that Lovecraft Country should get renewed for a second season? Did you love it? Did you hate it? And what network do you think would be willing to pick it up? Netflix, Amazon, or which one? Let me know down in the comments down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all